The Ministry of the Interior is a government agency of Italy. Headquartered in Rome, it is cabinet-level ministry of the Italian Republic. As of September 2019, Luciana Lamorgese, former prefect of Milan and member of the Council of State, is the minister. The ministry is responsible for internal security and the protection of the constitutional order, for civil protection against disasters and terrorism, for displaced persons and administrative questions. It is host to the Standing Committee of Interior Ministers and also drafts all passport, identity card, firearms, and explosives legislation. The Ministry of the Interior is political authority for the administration of internal affairs. It controls the state police, the firefighters department and the prefect. The minister hierarchy sits on the High Council of Defense. The main functions of the ministry are declared in the Executive Order No. 300, promulgated on the 30th of July 1999 and are as follows. Currently, the ministry's duties and powers are regulated by the presidential decrees of the 5th of June 1976. No. 676 and the 7th of September 2001. No. 398. The following departments, directorates, special commissions, and other offices and secretariats of the Ministry of Interior are as follows. The Ministry of the Interior was among the oldest ministries of the Kingdom of Sardinia. It experienced a notable growth in responsibilities from 1861, as a result of the unification of Italy, as a result of the absence of any kind of head of government from the Albertine Statute. The Ministry of the Interior had priority over the presidency of the Council from the beginning. During the establishment of the unitary state, the Minister of the Interior represented a strongly centralized model of state, desired by the Piedmontese statesmen in order to strengthen the state which they saw as excessively diverse. Along with the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of the Interior was one of the two pillars on which Italian national unity was built. The functions of the ministry were executed by a system of prefectures, based on the French model, with provincial seats whose authority derived from the central government. The attributes of the prefect were intended by the liberal historical right government to unify Italy. It was Minister Bettino Ricasoli who initiated this policy of marked centralization in 1861 with the Decrees of October. In the first decades of the Kingdom of Italy's existence, the prefectures gave the government tight control over local affairs, representing the central government locally. In many areas of Italy, the prefectures were the only offices of the central government. The ministry was reorganized in 1870 by Minister Giovanni Lanza and again in 1874 and 1877, under the first government of the left wing of the Liberal Party. During these years, the ministry acquired control of the police, prisons, and social policing. Towards the end of the 19th century, Minister Francesco Crispi strengthened the ministry and the prefectures. Subsequently, Minister Antonio Di Rudini decentralized some functions, entrusting various roles to the prefectures which had previously been the responsibility of the ministry itself. Under Giovanni Giolitti, in the early 20th century, the ministry became the key means of state action. It exercised watchful and strict control over the comuni and provinces, especially in matters of public order. In the arena of public health, it enforced a rationalization of health laws in 1913, with the so-called Sanitary Codex. In the social sphere, the prefectures were called upon to mediate in labor conflicts and improve working conditions, in collaboration with the Government Labor Office, and to municipalize essential services like tram lines, street lighting, kindergartens, etc. In this area too, their powers and administrative role expanded. Although the ministry continued its ordinary role in maintaining security, order and health during the First World War, its overall structure was not significantly modified. With the rise of Italian fascism, there was little change. An exception is Law No. 1601 of 3 December 1922, which transferred the General Directorate of Prisons and Rehabilitation to the Ministry of Mercy, Justice, and Worship. In general, Benito Mussolini controlled the ministry personally. but it progressively lost its guiding role in the administration of the state. In 1931, the General Directorate of Support for Worship and of Support for Charity and Religion of the City of Rome, as well as the General Directorate of Religious Affairs, which had previously belonged to the Ministry of Mercy and Justice, were entrusted to the Ministry of the Interior. These officers are still part of the Ministry of the Interior. After the fall of fascism, institutional changes resulted from the creation of the Republic of Italy. The main theme of these changes was the increased decentralization of power to the regions and the progressive transfer